Hi, my name is Stephanie Pecci, and this is my video for my final assignment on dynamic assessment. In my final paper, I started speaking about a 5-year-old boy named Lewis who was diagnosed pretty late that he has autism. Lewis has a para, and she works with him one-on-one in a general education classroom, which is the least restrictive environment for him. I conducted a lesson plan based on the letter V and Valentine's Day in my final assignment, and I made adaptations that are appropriate for Lewis's special education services and requirements, and they help his own personal goals and his IEP to be met. Along with the lesson plan, I also decided that I'm going to conduct a dynamic assessment with Lewis and his para one-on-one, and we will be doing the pre-test, test, and post-test dynamic assessment requirements. For Lewis's pre-test, I decided to sit down with his para and review the letter V that we have been working on, go over the sound V, 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 and go over how to draw the V. And since Lewis is very artistic and he likes to do art, I decided to print out this worksheet for him. On the bottom it says V is for Valentine, which is an introduction for what the lesson would be. This would be given to Lewis to complete before we do the lesson plan. The V is a bubble letter, so all Lewis has to do is color in the V so he gets used to seeing the shape of the V, since he has difficulty with his letter recognition. That is what I decided the pretest would be. The para would also help Lewis whenever he is struggling or whenever he needs an extra hand. For the test part of the dynamic assessment assignment, I printed out this worksheet, and it is the letter V, and it has a whole bunch of pictures of things that start with the letter V and things that do not start with the letter V. So to help Lewis get more associated with the sound V, V, V for Valentine, I will go over all of these pictures with him one at a time. Vest, snail, eye, anchor, violin, and he will have to tell me which one makes the sound V, V for the V. There's also volcano, vacuum, so there are opportunities for him to point and say that this picture is something that starts with the letter V. That would be his test, and whether he passes that or not would determine if I do the post-test. As a teacher, I would probably like to just do the post-test either way, just to see that he is really getting a grasp on the subject matter. So what I did is I went on positivelyautism.com and I printed out the Valentine train, and it is a story about Valentine's Day that this will be read to him after the lesson plan in my final assignment is completed, to just make sure that Lewis really has a grasp on what we learned, that he is able to really associate the letter V in certain words, especially the word Valentine. So I would read this story to him. There are many pages. In each page, he will get to point to the word that starts with the letter V or the word Valentine. So hopefully on this page he will say nothing starts with the letter V there. But then we will get to here And clearly it says it was Valentine's Day in the first line over here. So he will be able to directly point to the word V for Valentine and be able to point that out for me. There are multiple pages to this book, and the word Valentine is written multiple times, so he will really be able to recognize that word over the course of this lesson and this test. And at the end, since Lewis really likes to do art projects, I printed out another worksheet for him where he can make his own Valentines, uppercase V, lowercase v, and on the bottom it says is for Valentine, so he can trace that because they're dotted, and he can practice his other letters using that, and he can color in his own Valentines along with the one that he already completed during our lesson plan.